Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nightcap. We're back on a Tuesday Nightcap delight. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, hosted by yours truly. Yes, indeed, it is me. It's MOWM. It's the Mike that likes to mouth off here. And it is just me tonight here riding solo. I'm riding solo on the Nightcap here for the NXT After Stand and Deliver. So I want to thank you all for spending your Tuesday night here with me on the Nightcap here. So make sure, if you haven't already, go check out last night's Nightcap for the Raw after WrestleMania on demand, anytime you want, any place you want, really, on Boom Broadcasting. So go check it out. I had Sean, Shannon, Derek on the show last night. We talked for over an hour about WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw, even some AEW in there. So go check it out after tonight's Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, as well on my Twitter at MOWM_podcast. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while since I've had the pleasure to come here live on a Tuesday night after NXT and talk about what we just witnessed on NXT. So I am very, very, very happy to be here on a Tuesday night with you all to talk about NXT. So tonight we are at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas, Nevada for NXT After Stand and Deliver. When they announced this show, part of me was like, you know what? I'm going to stay till Wednesday in Vegas. What was I thinking, folks? What was I thinking? Because if I was in Vegas Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to Wednesday, talking 6 days in Vegas, I probably would have no shirt. I have no pants, no socks, no hat. Probably be no more podcast studio because I probably would have gambled it all away if I was in Vegas for that long. So if you're still in Vegas, for NXT tonight, give yourself a round of applause, man, because you're an absolute trooper. You're an animal. Good show tonight. Overall, I enjoyed NXT. Now, for your boy here, MOWM, I do work. I am working late because I got to make money. I got to pay for those WrestleMania tickets somehow. So I watched NXT at work and also on the way home tonight. I did not drive. Don't worry. I am safe when I drive. And I really liked what we saw from NXT tonight. We started off the show. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship was on the line. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who recaptured the NXT Women's Tag titles last night on Raw, took on the number one contenders who won their match at the Stand and Deliver event last Saturday in the pre-show. Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley against Liv Morgan and Raquel for the tag titles. I like this match on paper because it gives the NXT women in the division who, let's be honest, they don't really have anything to fight for, any of the women's tag teams. They're fighting for the main roster tag titles. And up to this point, outside of no one since they've unified the titles, no NXT team has beaten a main roster team for the women's tag title. So I was really hoping tonight, we played hot potato, Sunday, Becky, Lyra winning last night, them losing, going back to Liv and Raquel. I personally, I know this is going to sound freaking nuts, but I would have liked to have seen this hot potato again to Gigi and Tatum. And then have Gigi and Tatum kind of hold them down in NXT for a bit and give tag teams like Lash and Jakara a chance at those titles. Other women that are in NXT like Zarya and Sol Ruka, which was teased tonight after the match. Backstage, Liv rubbing it in with Zarya. Your partner's a double champ, referencing Sol, who won the NXT North American Championship at Stand and Deliver, as well as she won the Speed Championship. So I would have personally liked to seen, I would have liked to seen Gigi and Tatum. I would have liked to seen them win. Good match overall. Liv, Raquel retain. Honestly, not really too shocking to say the least. Other than that, I mean, it seems like, so what I'm looking for here. It seems like Liv and Raquel are going to be hanging out in NXT for a couple weeks. It looks like it. I think Liv and Raquel are going to end up having a match against Sol and Zarya at some point. And then you can maybe argue Lash and Jakara get kind of back in the mix, so it's kind of like one of those things where if WWE never unified the women's tag titles, then the NXT women's division would be even more prosperous than it already is. And the NXT women's division, in my opinion, remember whose name is on the show right here, MOWM_podcast. My opinion personally, the NXT women's tag titles not being around anymore was a huge blow because they have so many women. They added a mid-card title, which was great, but you still have women that don't get on TV weekly, like Gigi and Tatum, like Fatal Influence, like Jakara and Lash. So, realistically, I probably would have liked to seen an NXT tag team win the gold tonight. But, hey, what can you do? Shortly thereafter, we had a couple different little backstage segments tonight. Dark State wants a match, and they're going to take on Miles Bourne and Javon Evans. I think I know what we're going to do here with Dark State. I think we're going to end up having some sort of all-star tag team 4-on-4 match at, where are we? We're in April. Do we have an NXT Premium Live event in May? I don't think so. That would leave us with June with Worlds Collide. So maybe we do NXT and AAA versus Dark State in a 4-on-4 match at Worlds Collide is a strong possibility. Miles Bourne, baby Randy Orton. The guy is really solid in the ring, man. Javon is the man, dude. 20 years old, he's already the man. When I grow up, I want to be Javon Evans, and I'm older than Javon Evans. Really like this. Dark State gets a win. No quarter catch crew watching from the ramp. I think we're angling no quarter catch crew versus Dark State next week. I would not be surprised if that's what they decide to run. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. It could be Dark State versus Charlie, Tavion, Miles, and Javon. It could be Dark State versus those three plus a mystery fourth, if they decide not to go with Javon. So I'm cool with either way. I thought this did its job. It kind of gets us letting Dark State get some big wins. They beat the family thanks to Stacks at Stand and Deliver. We'll get there. And they get a big win tonight here. So Dark State, clearly Shawn Michaels sees something here with this faction. I truthfully feel like it's a Shield Retribution merge. Like, just they put both the two best parts of those factions together, and we got Dark State. I'll let it progress. I'll let it play out. It's developmental. I'm usually not as critical about NXT as I am about main roster, WWE and AEW and things like that. But let's see what happens with Dark State. I really don't know, how I feel about it. I mean, I like the talent. They're intense. They're very athletic. They can go in the ring. They're fresh in the industry, except one guy. He's been wrestling in Deadlock. Let's see what happens. Let's kind of see where this progresses. The Revolution is in fact televised. Ricky Saints comes out and cuts a promo. He's interrupted by Lexis King, who was told by Penn and Teller that he will get the Heritage Cup back if he defends it against a mystery opponent. So Lex is like, yeah, fine, I'll defend it. Whatever. I want my cup back. So Penn and Teller make it magically reappear. Magic is real. After they made it disappear Saturday at Stand and Deliver. I thought it was very funny. It's back. He's going to defend it. He interrupts Ricky. He tells Ricky, well, I want a title match against you, and I'll put the Heritage Cup on the line, and you put the North American title on the line. Ethan Page comes out. This thing turns into a whole mess of AEW former wrestlers here. You got Ethan, you got Alexis, you got freaking Ricky. I mean, I thought this was an episode of AEW Dynamite for a second. I was like, holy shit. I hopped into a absolute, you got to win the ticket fighting craps. Shout out AB, man. AB was with us in Vegas for WrestleMania. He tried to help us gamble our way to WrestleMania tickets. We did not gamble successfully to get those tickets. So those came out of my own pocket. Much love to AB. Thanks for helping in the show. Logan James, what's going on, good brother? Welcome to the show, man. This was a surprise Tuesday nightcap. Logan James is in the building. If you're not in the building, if you're not here, I don't know where the hell you are. I thought Io Sky was showing up on NXT for Julia. Man, Logan, I would have absolutely loved Io Sky popping up here tonight on NXT. That wasn't the case. We didn't get her. So I'm guessing we're going to hold out on Io and Julia till a little bit later on in the Julia path here for the main roster. So I think we should keep an eye on it. Keep close tabs on it, Logan. I'm sure you'll get that match very, very, very soon. So this turns into the Lexis King mystery opponent match. And you know what, folks? It is great to see this man return to NXT, and that is the Supernova 11, Mr. Alicia Fox himself. Noam Dar is back in NXT, and he did cut his hair. He's back to short hair Noam Dar. I was shocked to see it. I know our good friend Tortellini from Black Masses and Constellations even said to me, he cut his hair. What did he do? I don't know, man. The flow was flowing. You should never let it cut. Don't cut it. Flow was flowing. Noam Dar versus Lexis King. Good NXT Heritage Cup match. I hate Lexis King's rules. I hate it. It's basically just a championship. He defends it, one fall, that's it, to a finish. I hate that. I liked when the NXT Heritage Cup had the multiple rounds, best pinfalls win, the time limits. I like that concept because it was a unique way to present a wrestling match here for NXT, and it was a unique way for that championship to have an additional little bit of prestige to it. Noam Dar wins. Noam Dar is the new NXT Heritage Cup champion. To be honest with you, he's been probably top 3 NXT Heritage Cup champions. I would say it's got to go Tyler Bate, it's got to go Noam Dar, and it's got to go the Don, because that's bias for me. I'm a biased guy with the Don. So Noam Dar and new NXT Heritage Cup champion. Welcome back. What a way to come back to NXT, man. Fallon Henley, Thea Hale had a match here tonight. I liked it. Thea Hale gets a big win, and there's some tension with Fatal Influence. They just created Fatal Influence like not even a year ago, and we're already teasing Fallon and JC kind of being at each other's throats. So I do not know what in the hell they're thinking here with this, but I guess, I guess, right? I guess that's what we're going to do here. We're going to add a little bit of some tension, and then we're going to probably end up having JC and Fallon take on each other in a couple weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of them ends up in the main roster on the draft. Especially JC and Fallon could be in the freaking draft. Both of them have been in NXT for freaking forever. You can make the argument both of them can get drafted and called up. You can make the argument JC Jane should be drafted and called up because JC's been there longer than Fallon, maybe even the same amount of time. Must have missed a memo on the Tuesday nightcap, but it's a much welcome sight. DWC, it was impromptu. I was sitting there, I was in the office. I was like, you know what? NXT Stand and Deliver post show. Why not do a nightcap? I'll be home in time. I'll watch it. I'm here. I'm ready. You're here. You're ready. Why not? A Toro. Oh boy. Damn, dude. Vacur Sangre Indomita Guerrera. Oh boy. All right. You know what? Okay. Let me go ahead. Let me just go ahead and we go ahead and hit up the Google Translate here. Not the Nightcap. This is a first here for your boy on the Nightcap. Arturo, I really wish I knew what that said, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and Google Translate this one real quick, because your boy does not speak Spanish, but your boy really wants to know what you said. Okay, okay. This is very bad Google Translate. So something about indomitable warrior, something cowboy blood. I got Google Translate failing me here. If you know Spanish, AB, are you still watching the show? Can you tell me what this means, bro? I need a translation, brother. I need a quick translation. Oh man, we'll see if we can get that one translated here before the end of the show. But yeah, Fallon Henley, Thea Hale. Thea Hale gets a big win. I like it. I'm okay with this. Thea Hale's one of my favorites in in NXT. So I absolutely love it. We're talking to AB here. We're consulting here with our Spanish speaking delegation. we're really doing it. This is a first for us here on the Nightcap. This is a first for us. I absolutely love this. This is probably one of my favorite. This is the most laid back Nightcap you're ever gonna get. Thea Hale's great. We're getting we're getting a translator here on the line. Oh man, and the family's in trouble, folks. The family is absolutely in trouble tonight. Stacks, the underboss, told Luca to meet him in the middle of the Vegas desert. And Luca, I don't know why the hell you did this. And this is what we get.
Oh, the next level.
Yeah, so Luca might be in a shallow grave somewhere in the desert. Tony D goes to the Riz's hotel room, tells her, look, you can't leave. You can't go home. It's not safe. I have to get you into a safe house. The guys are downstairs waiting for you. You need to go with them, and I need to know you're safe. The family story, I absolutely hate that it only took it took the last couple months for people to really get behind the Don and the family and everything there. But man, if you go back to the introduction of the family, you go to when they sent Pretty Deadly to the main roster, you go back and you watch the progression of this story. It is literally like watching a mafia movie. Like this is like the unreleased Goodfellas cut. You know what I mean? Like they have added so much drama and cinematography to this feud. We have background music while the Don's talking to Rizzo, and it's like super intense. So I'm 100% all aboard the train here. I want to know where we go from here with this, with the family. I think the Don is probably getting called up. I also feel like Stacks. Vakur has unconquerable blood and is a warrior. Hell yeah, she is a Toro. Hell yeah, she is. Gotta love good translation here. Gotta thank our language line here. Family's in big trouble. Can't wait to see what happens next. Would absolutely love the Don to get called up to the main roster. Would absolutely love for Stacks, Luca, and Rizzo to get some shine here. I could very well argue that something is going on here because it really seems like there's more to the story that we haven't been told. Maybe something's up with the Don. You know, I made kind of some, you know, I had a feeling that Stacks was the leader of Dark State, but he wasn't, and he just turned on the family because whatever. Right? He turned on the Don at Stand and Deliver. So I was like, oh, he's signing with Dark State. And I thought he was going to like move to the other side of the ring and pronounce he's the leader and stuff, but it didn't happen. So maybe the Don's the leader of Dark State. You know, maybe there's more to this story here. All I know is the family is in trouble, and I really hope we can get a really incredible payoff to whatever they're cooking up here. Whatever Shawn Michaels is cooking up here right now, I really hope we get a hell of a payoff, and I hope the Don ends up in the main roster. Joe Hendry's here. I did not expect to see Joe Hendry. Obafemi and Trick came out. They were chopping it up. Trick, honestly, Joe Hendry kind of nailed it. Joe told him, he's like, to me, you sound like a whiny bitch. Like, Trick does sound like a whiny bitch. He has changed. He's not the same Trick Williams that we were chanting for to whoop that Trick. This is a meaner, hungrier, more vile Trick Williams that we've seen. He has a full-blown crash out backstage, throwing stuff, wrecking cameras, feed cuts out to Gray. Joe Hendry, hyping up his match here with Ethan Page at Rebellion this week. Obafemi and him, he wants a piece of Obafemi. I mean, I don't know where we're going here, but Joe Hendry had a great WrestleMania moment against Randy Orton. If you haven't seen my clip at MOWM_podcast, check it out on my socials, especially Twitter, because you'll actually get to see the man who said his name. I don't know if you watched the video, but there was a guy who was sitting behind us from Scotland. It was his first WrestleMania, and he literally was like, Joe Hendry. And me and the missus were sitting there, and you literally could see the thought, like, go into you literally watch me hear him say this, go, oh shit, her go, that's a hot take, and then say his name pops up. Man, much love to all the fans that we got to meet, man, at WrestleMania. Shout out to Ewan Boyle, man. Shout out to Ewan Boyle at EUBO 1999. That is our Scottish friend who said his name, and he ended up appearing here. Got some hate comments on that. Wow. Gotta hate the internet. Internet wrestling community is crazy, guys. Imagine paying that money for seats at the biggest show of the year and sitting there filming your face. I don't know. Imagine being at the biggest show of the year, getting to see Joe Hendry's incredible moment and fucking bitching about it on Twitter. Imagine that. Who would have thought? Anyway, gotta love it. Yay, jealousy is an ugly color. Joe Hendry's here. Obafemi, Trick Willie, man. I think we're gonna end up getting Joe Hendry versus Obafemi at some point in the near future. I mean, it looks like it, but I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Josh Briggs and Inumara got an NXT tag title opportunity next week against Hank and Tank. And ladies and gentlemen, Chase U is. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it to the press. I already dropped one. Chase U is effing back. Thank God. Getting rid of Chase U for Ridge Holland was the stupidest thing that NXT did. Like, that was the dumbest Shawn Michaels booking decision, honestly, of this last year. So getting Chase U back, Andre Chase back in the university, throw them U's up, baby. It's all about Chase U at the end of the day. Main event here of NXT was a NXT Women's Championship match. We had Stephanie Vacour, the NXT Women's Champion, taking on Roxanne Perez, the Prodigy, in what I'm assuming was Roxanne Perez's final NXT match tonight. This is a good match. I will never, ever, 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 ever say that Roxanne or Stephanie have had bad matches. None of these matches I've watched between these two have been incredible. I absolutely loved everything about this. Stephanie retains the championship as she should. Julia comes out after. They have a stare down. I love that. Julia and Steph is not over. Julia looks like she's a full-blown heel. You got Jordan Grace peeping in the background, peeking over her shoulder. So it looks like the NXT women's division is pretty much clear and cut. We're going to go from Steph. We're going to probably go to Julia. We're probably going to go to Jordan Grace. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a triple threat down the line. I also wouldn't be surprised Julia beats Steph or Jordan beats Steph, and then we end up with some sort of feud with the three of them or one of the two. I mean, there's a lot of different interchangeable pieces here. There's a lot of different options that you can kind of go with, when we look at the NXT Women's Championship. I absolutely think that Steph should hold the belt I think she should hold the belt past the Worlds Collide show. Obviously the news with AAA, WWE acquiring AAA, them announcing the Worlds Collide pay-per-view, premium live event the weekend of June 6th or June 7th and 8th. Did you have Money in the Bank on the 8th of no, is it Friday? Oh man. Let's see. Let's see. June 7th. So NXT Worlds Collide will be June 7th. And that means Money in the Bank's on a Sunday. Oh, I hate Sunday pay-per-views, man. So I would not be surprised Stephanie is the champion going into Worlds Collide and she has a match against, a woman from AAA. Very well could see that possibly coming down the pipeline. I mean, a lot of good tonight here on NXT. Was it the strongest NXT show after a premium live event like Stand and Deliver? I wouldn't say it was the strongest show, but I thought it was a good show for what it did. It gave us clear-cut direction of where we're going with the NXT men's division, the North American Championship. The Heritage Cup now is back with Noam Dar. Obviously, Stephanie is the women's champion, and that's not going to change for the foreseeable future, but we set up some people who could very well be fighting for these titles. Jada Parker, Jordan Grace, Julia. You have the NXT North American Women's Championship. That division. Thea Hale is probably going to be chomping at the bit for a title opportunity against Soul. Overall, man, I would say tonight's NXT was a really good show, but did it deliver what I wanted from the NXT brand, especially after Stand and Deliver and how good it was? Felt a little flat there. I do really think that I feel like this is kind of an anomaly for NXT. I feel like, they're off their game. They're in Vegas. They're not really like everyone's kind of gassed out. The crowd wasn't that good tonight either. I mean, if you're still in Vegas right now, in theory, you would have been there from Thursday to Tuesday night. So you probably went to Thursday. You either went to WWE World or you just hung out, and then you went to WWE World Friday, SmackDown, indie shows, Stand and Deliver Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday, Saturday. So you probably consumed, about 5 or 6 different wrestling shows in the span of 4 days. So I'm not surprised the crowd wasn't as hyped tonight here. I did like the Fontainebleau. I did like the Fontainebleau Theater setup. I know that they did the Hall of Fame and the roast there, which we're starting to see more of these clips come out from this roast, man. And this roast was, what a terrible idea. What an absolute terrible idea. I mean, I'm all about comedy. I'm all about edgy comedy. I'm all for that, man. But some of the stuff I heard is just, it's not even edgy comedy. It's just people just saying the shit that they wanted to say that they never had a chance to. And they're getting to say it under the guise of it's comedy. It's comedy. Everyone should be laughing at this. Some really rough comments about like Nia Jax, Charlotte, and her faces. Just a lot of sick shit. I mean, we got Fluffy and Paul Heyman getting into it. Tony Kill Tony getting into it. So it's like, man, what a mistake that was. I think they made a joke about Logan Paul and Prime and the whole scandal he had from a few years ago. So this thing was gnarly, man. This was a gnarly comedy show. And I truthfully think that WWE probably would never do this again. I mean, the clips are trying to come out. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, I've seen them all. So I think this is going to be an absolute fucking PR nightmare. Just like I am mouthing off with Mike and the Nightcap is a PR nightmare for the Prez of Boom Broadcasting. That was a PR nightmare. I can't even logically sit here and understand, why they would do. Anyway, I had to go ahead and give some shit back to the old trolls of Twitter, man. That app is an absolute fucking dumpster fire. Anyway, yeah, crowd weak a little bit tonight. Show was a little bit weak. NXT though, that's my show. I am really excited about the family stuff. I'm excited about the women's division where we're gonna go from there. I hope we see the NXT. I hope we see the women's tag titles more often on NXT after tonight. I really like that. And I I really want to see who, after Lexus King, of course, is going to be, challenging Ricky Saints, because that NXT North American Championship division is kind of wide open. Obviously the Don lost it to Sean Spears. Sean Spears lost it to Ricky. Now it's like, all right, Ricky's probably going to hold that title for a little bit. But then whoever beats Ricky for that title is obviously going to be a big name. And then whoever beats Ricky for that, then that means Ricky's progressing towards the NXT Championship. Unless Ricky somehow gets over from that time till now and ends up getting called up, anything is possible in the world of professional wrestling. Before I do part ways tonight here for the Nightcap, it's a fast Nightcap. It's just me. We didn't really have too much to really get into on NXT. So I'm going to go ahead and plug some of my stuff here for Mouthing Off with Mike coming out this week. I am going to be doing a Mouthing Off with Mike WrestleMania Superstore haul. I'm actually going to go ahead, once the Nightcap is over, I'm actually going to record that video later tonight. So you guys will get to see all of the cool merch. Obviously, you can already see some of the merch that I picked up. That's MOWM custom WrestleMania jersey this year. Lids was there. They were doing custom jerseys, which I thought was really smart. They're also doing custom hats. I didn't do a custom hat or anything like that, but the jersey was well worth it. Throw on the old logo, do some, some guerrilla marketing, as they say. And then, of course, I will have my Mouthing Off with Mike WrestleMania week vlog. So I'm going to compile all of the video footage, all of the pictures that I took. We're going to throw it together. I'm going to show you guys where we went, what we did, how much we spent. And when we talk about how much does it really cost to attend WrestleMania. So what this video is going to be, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually break down and I'm going to kind of peel back the curtain a little bit. I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I spent, how much I spent, why I spent it, and how you can either save some money by doing it a different way, or I'm going to break down to you guys how to properly budget when it comes to going to a big show like WrestleMania. So a lot of people, who may not have ever been to a WrestleMania, or who, work hard for their money and they have a lot of expenses. Like I'm not a special person. I am not rich by any definition of the word. I am a hard-working dude who busts his ass for his money and the things that I go and I do, and I work hard to play harder. All right. So I don't want, this to be like, oh, this guy's, rich or not. I'm not fucking rich. I'm not even close to it. But I have learned over the last couple of years of going to WrestleManias that there's a right way to do stuff and there's a wrong way to do stuff. And and as a financial professional here, as what I do for my literal job, I want to kind of add a little bit of what I do to kind of this, to WrestleMania, to wrestling, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize, like, when you're going to these big shows, you're going to have to budget accordingly. You may not be able to pay for everything out of pocket, so you may have to utilize credit cards and things like that. Credit cards are really high interest, but if you're smart about it, you can potentially get all of your WrestleMania expenses on a credit card, and you can actually basically put yourself into a payment plan. So you may not have to throw that all out once, towards those events and the merch and all that stuff. But I can break that down for you. So I think you guys are going to really like this video. I'm going to put some real numbers together. You guys are going to see exactly how much I spent for night 1, night 2, WWE World, the Superstore, food, drinks, hotels, things like that. I'll explain everything. I'll break it all down to you, and I'll give you guys some examples on how you too can, in fact, afford to go to a WrestleMania in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, so be on the lookout this week. We got the Superstore haul, we got the week vlog, and we got how much does it really cost to attend WrestleMania. I want to thank all of you guys for joining me here on a very impromptu, unexpected, surprise NXT Nightcap here on a Tuesday night. I will be back for the I will be back for the Friday night SmackDown Nightcap Friday, but maybe the Nightcap goes all elite tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. Thank you guys so much here for watching. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. Check out the WrestleMania after Raw after WrestleMania Nightcap from last night. It was a great show. Go ahead, subscribe to Mouthing Off with Mike so you don't miss these awesome videos coming from WrestleMania week. And ladies and gentlemen, I am Mouthing Off with Mike. This has been the Nightcap. Subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. Have a good night. I'm out of here. Bye, guys. Take it easy.